This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesianicristo.
Ready? Focus. Lock in. Buckle down. From the Great Lakes to all corners of the globe, let your passion shine with purpose in your zone. Hey everyone, welcome to In Your Zone, again brought to you by INCRadio, Northern Midwest Satellite Studio. I'm your host for today, Gabriel Romero, and for today's broadcast, we're going to continue learning more about the brethren in the District of Great Lakes and their hobbies or their careers, which is the case for today. And we have with us, as you can see above, I'm trying to figure out which way that is, but you'll see our brother from Bloomingdale, Illinois, to tell us more about his career and his passion, which we will learn more about in our Focus segment. All right, so with us today, I think we can have him introduce himself as well, but let's say hi to David, again from Bloomingdale, Illinois. Good afternoon with us. Thanks for joining us today.
Sure, hello.
Yes, this is David, and then you also see Tony with us, a familiar face for everyone who's been watching our broadcasts before. But we're going to be talking about David's career. As you can see down below, he is a pilot, and to be honest, I've seen more and more people get into like aviation as like a hobby. Like I see people like taking trips and like just learning how to fly, which I think is really cool. But for you, actually, David, that is your career. So let's begin our discussion. How did you get into the field of aviation? Where did it all begin?
Well, I do have a defining moment, but even before that moment, as a child, I was always fascinated with clouds, with cities on maps and things of that nature. I didn't necessarily knew I wanted to be a pilot, but I can tell you that I even have the year pinpointed. Okay, it's 1978, so I'm about 8 years old, and I have to give you a little bit of a background because to put it into context, I was visiting my father and my grandparents in the U.S. I grew up in France, so my mom is French. So I was actually returning back to France. So I'm at JFK Airport, TWA Flight 800 in a Boeing 747. I'm a passenger. I'm a UM, unaccompanied minor.
Right.
My grandparents just dropped me off, and they're worried because the flight is delayed. But I'm having a great time because the flight attendant came to me and asked me if I wanted to go in the cockpit.
Oh,
And right away,
fun.
I said, yes, of course, So I followed her up the staircase, across first class, and into the cockpit, where I met the flight engineer, the first officer, and the captain. And they were nice enough to have me sit in the captain's seat with the headsets on. And I was listening to air traffic control, looking at all the buttons and lights. And from that moment on, I was hooked. And I could tell you that when school started that year, on day one, the teachers asked, what would you want to become when you grew up? And I said, I wanted to be a pilot. So that was my defining moment.
Oh, that sounds so fun. I wish I had that opportunity. Like, I feel like a lot of children have done that too. Like, the flight attendants ask if you want to go to the cockpit. I think, did you get. I know maybe nowadays, maybe they did back then, like they got like pins or something. I don't know if you had like a souvenir.
No, no, I
Oh
never
no.
got the wings or anything of that sort. No.
Side note,
Yeah.
do you have that now?
I do. I used to carry a big bag full of these plastic pins, but they're really
Oh,
hard to come by now. So I've given all of them away already. But
oh
yeah,
man. Well,
yeah,
next time, next time
yeah.
I'll try to get one. So, I mean, from that love of, or, you know, being able to see the cockpit, see all the instrumentation and stuff, how do you go about becoming a pilot? I mean, of course, there's school. What's the type of schooling or education that you need?
Well, you just have to go to a flight school. They
Okay.
have different programs. They have different types of school. One is a little more strict. It's under
Hmm.
Part 141, from the FARs. And another one is a Part 61, where it's more like your mom and pop flight school. It's more relaxed. But it doesn't matter if it's a 141 or 61 part. You can get all your ratings in either school, and become a pilot that way. Yeah.
Nice. Do do you start off for a pilot with smaller like twin engine aircraft, and then I don't know if grow into like the Boeings and all of that?
Absolutely. You
That's how you do
go
it. Okay.
one, yes, you start with your single engine
Okay.
airplane. You will move on to a little more complex, maybe a more powerful engine, retractable landing gear, and
Hmm.
then maybe a light twin. And you have to do some instrument flying as well, and build up your time in order to move on to a more complex airplane. Yep.
Okay. And like with all of these rules and regulations about aircraft, and for me, I always just like listening to the instructions that the flight attendants give, where they like demonstrate how to put on your seatbelt or like how to put on the life jacket or when
Mhm.
the oxygen mask falls. But I'm sure for pilots and all flight crew, there's a whole list of rules and regulations that you have to constantly update yourself on. And is that like a refresher train? Like, is there like refresher training that you take often
Yes,
because of?
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah, we do have recurrent flight training in a simulator. It never gets old,
Okay.
but it's always changing. It's always very challenging. You do have to prepare yourself for it, but it's always there for the safety of the flight. And this is why we do it. It's part of the job.
Nice. Would you say that is, I don't know, maybe your favorite part, just learning, constantly learning about everything, but are there other aspects of being a pilot that you really love? Is it maybe the plane itself, or what is your favorite part about being a pilot?
Um, there's a lot of different aspects of flying that I love.
Mm-hmm.
From the moment you taxi into position and line up with the runway before takeoff, this is just an amazing feeling when you're about to put the thrust lever to its full capacity, and then you pull on the nose and you're
Mm-hmm.
just lifting off. I'm still amazed on how many passengers we can carry, and we're flying. We're actually flying after all these years. It just still amazes me. So from that aspects to maybe you're cruising along at night in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and you see the sunrise. I mean, this is my office. Where else would you find something like that? It's just amazing. Yeah.
That's so true.
Jealous.
Your office is a wide open window to the sky.
It's 360 degrees,
Ah,
and you see
Wow.
sunsets, sunrises, and everything in between. It's ever changing, yeah. And the destinations too. I
oh
mean,
yeah,
we go to great places, yeah.
I'm very sure. Tony, were you're
I
gonna
have a
say
question.
something? Yeah,
I
go ahead.
did have a
Mhm.
question because I've always wondered this because I did fly recently to Florida,
Okay.
and I'm always so amazed, like when you're on the runway, how do you know where to go? Like how I'm always like, how do they know where to turn the plane and then where to take off to make sure that you're not gonna like run into somebody else? I'm like, this is so confusing.
Yeah, well, aircraft separation is we rely on air traffic control. They have us on radar. So they always, they have the plan and we just follow their instructions. But if we want to go to a destination, nowadays we have really good and great reliable instrumentation with global positioning system, just like the one you have in your car. It's basically the same thing, but in three-dimensional. Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
uh, David, so like I'm sure there's a lot of those who are listening, who may want to, pursue this. Do you have any advice for those who want to become pilots? I mean, for all ages, I'm sure like you learned or you became interested when you were young. So, any
Yes.
advice or anything they can do?
Absolutely. Thanks for asking that question. So, I'm part of this program with the EAA. It's the Experimental Aircraft Association. So, what we do, us pilots, we volunteer our time and airplanes, and we fly to an airport. It's once a month at different locations, and kids can sign up online, and we take up flying. And if they're, we call them the young eagles. So if they become a young eagle, they will get a 1 year EAA free membership, and also a private pilot ground school course that they can have for free, you know,
Whoa.
and it's a win-win. And there's more. If they complete 3 lessons in that private pilot course,
Uh-huh.
we can give them a voucher to get a 1 hour of flight instruction at their local flight school. So it's just a way to give back to the next generation and
Mhm.
promote aviation. We need pilots badly. So I just started doing this. I've flown a few young eagle this year. I just started this year,
Uh-huh.
and I'm very proud to be part of that organization. So if you're just curious about flying or you want to be a pilot, join in at eaa.org.
Oh, that's so fun. Oh, I kind of wish I learned
Yeah,
about that when I was younger, to
I
be
know, right?
honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like so much fun. Oh, Tony. Tony's like, oh, man. Nice.
I want to. I want to now.
Is there, I was going to say, is there a age range or for that?
Yes,
Oh,
it's
man.
from 8 till 17 and a half.
Ah.
Yeah. And this is the young eagle. We do have, for adults, it's called the eagle,
Okay, there
you
you go.
know, but I'm not part of that program.
Oh,
But
man.
you could join in and fly as an eagle. Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool to learn about. It's just even a small glimpse of life as a pilot. It's really cool to see all of that, and we're
Mhm.
gonna learn a little bit more. We're gonna see what else Tony knows about about
Okay.
pilots and flying in our next segment again, which is called Lock In. All right, so, Tony, we kind of got a preview of your knowledge based on flight traffic control, but let's see what else. We're gonna ask you some questions about pilots and flights, and David here's gonna ask or confirm, maybe, or correct if that's the right phrase. Your answers to these questions that we've gathered here. So, first question, as you probably know, Tony, that pilots don't fly like consecutively. They need to have breaks. Common sense. They should be taking breaks, like us.
Oh,
we
got it.
work,
Okay.
then we need to
Yeah.
take a break
Yeah.
before we work.
Yeah.
How long should a pilot have their break or rest before beginning another flight period?
This is just fill in the blank.
Yes.
Like 4 hours? 3 to 4 hours?
Is that your locked in answer, Tony?
Should I give a range?
If you want. I'm sure we're a little lenient here
I
on
feel
the
like
show.
is that cheating? Is that cheating? I would say like I'm just basing this off of Although I know flying is different than driving. I'm
Mhm.
comparing it to like my driver's job.
I mean, it is driving.
I
It's
would,
driving a plane versus a car.
yeah, but there's
But
like so much more to it.
true.
You would say like 3 to 4
Three, four
hours.
hours. Okay. Is that locked in, Tony, for you?
Yeah.
Okay. What is that an adequate amount of time? 3 to 4 hours?
Um, okay, I would have to ask a question about that because
Oh,
is it between two flights or is it what you need uh, when you go to your overnight and rest?
the latter.
Okay, so we need to have the rules state that we need to have 10 hours of rest and with an opportunity to sleep for 8 hours. So these are the actual rules. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
So,
actually thought you
uh,
guys were back to back, like you would do.
Like complete a leg, then you need to do another one. I mean, if
Yeah.
well,
it's or
no, if you're a
elaborate.
domestic pilot and you fly, you have 3, 4 legs a day,
Okay.
then we don't have breaks really.
Okay.
We just fly the legs all day long,
All
and
right.
then when you get to your overnight, this
Yeah.
is where you need to have
Okay.
that 10 hours of
There you
rest. All
go.
right.
Okay.
If you
Wow.
fly these longer routes, let's
Mhm.
say you're headed to somewhere in Europe. Okay, these are longer flights, 8 hours or more,
Yeah.
and we usually fly those with one extra pilot who's a relief pilot.
Right.
And for those flight we divide the time in thirds, and we each have 1/3 break in the airplane. We actually sleep on the airplane, you know, and the
Well,
relief pilot will relieve the captain and then relieve the first officer so they can each take our breaks. Yeah.
good to know.
Yeah.
Kind of wish we had that
That's
for
like,
driving.
Hmm.
I
In cars,
know,
just yeah,
right?
they have that like
Yeah, so
someone
you
else
could
drive
keep
for
on
us.
going. Exactly. Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, partial credit, I guess, for for Tony. Again, I should have specified a little bit more on that. But yeah, overnights, that's good to know. So, like, you're sure to
Hmm.
get your 8 hours. Like, I wish I was sure to get 8 hours every night. Oh,
Yeah.
well. Oh, well.
It's an opportunity to get 8 hours. Okay, so it's it's like how lawyers write the rules, right?
Ah,
Yeah.
opportunity, keyword.
Yes.
All right, next question. Okay, we're going to go back to kind of to schooling, to education here. How many hours should pilots train before they're able to get a license? Um,
Is this after like schooling, or is this like all inclusive with schooling?
maybe let's
Like
see. I think
total
maybe
training,
David
like
can
total
answer.
training?
Is there a required hour allotment during school that you need? Yes or
Yes, there is a minimum
okay.
amount of hours that you need.
Okay.
There is a oral and there
Ooh.
is a flight test.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, but your question is on the flight time that you need, right?
Yes.
Oh, so
Okay.
that's
So tell me.
additional. So that's after schooling?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes,
Um,
yes. So when you want to become a private pilot, you go through ground school. At the end
Okay.
of your ground school, you will take your written exam. Okay. With your written, you can show up for your check ride as long as you have the minimum flight requirements.
Okay.
And then the examiner will ask you on your oral. If you pass the oral, then you go fly. And if you pass the flight test, you have your license and you are
Okay.
a private pilot.
Okay. How many
mm,
hours then, Tony, would you need to be a private pilot?
I want to. Should I give a range again?
I think for this, it's acceptable to give some type of range.
I would say between um 100 and 150 hours.
Pretty generous.
Too generous.
Maybe. I don't know.
So the rules say that the minimum, it gives you the minimum
Okay.
requirements. Okay. So it's a total of 40 hours, which
That's not.
includes 20 hours of solo,
Okay.
which you're by yourself, and
Um,
20 hours of dual flight instruction for a total of 40 hours. Now, this is the minimum. Most people don't show up for their check ride with exactly 40 hours. Okay.
Fair.
So I would
that would
say
be
maybe the average ranges maybe 70. maybe 65 to 75 hours in that
Okay.
range.
I feel like I answered with myself in mind. Like, I probably wouldn't do like 100 hours. But that's just me. Maybe that was just my
Hmm.
own insecurity.
Well, that got you. Well, I was gonna say, did that get you closer to the? Yeah, kind of. To what an average pilot does. Your guess
Yeah.
was pretty close. So I think we'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that one. All right, this one might need a little bit of. Well, you know what?
Specific.
Let's see. For the sake of time, actually, let's go to maybe easier questions. We're gonna make it a little bit easier. All right. This maybe correct me if I'm wrong. These are gonna be yes or no, Tony. So you got 50-50.
Okay.
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 All right. These were just interesting things that I found, which maybe David can confirm, or if I just found something strange online. But first possible fact: pilots, right? Because we learned that there could be multiple pilots on a flight.
Mhm.
Pilots eat different meals on their flight routes. They can't have the same meal.
Mm. Oh, I didn't even. Oh, the same meal.
Yeah, like
I
how we
would
have our
say no.
in-flight meals, they can't have the same one. Yes or
Oh, the
no?
was us that we eat. Wait,
Or
is that is that what you're saying?
yeah, they have to eat different things. Yes or no?
I feel like yes, because I feel like I heard that before that they eat different meals in case one gets sick.
Is that
I'm locking in on that.
okay? Is it? Is that the case?
So I believe your answer would be correct if we were, I don't know, maybe in the 70s.
Okay.
Uh, but I can assure you that nowadays, with the standards of catering and
Okay.
everything,
True.
there's no requirement in our manual
Okay.
to eat differently.
Oh,
There you go.
We
okay.
do we
Good.
do
So
offer
now
we
no.
do offer for example, chicken, beef, or pasta. But if all pilots want chicken,
They
we could
can.
all have
All
chicken.
right.
So
Movie brain. I think
yeah.
it's
That must
it'll
have been
work.
okay. So if it were how many years ago, then
No.
probably. But okay, that's good. You could all enjoy the same meal. Pretty cool. All right,
Yeah.
next question. Okay, yes or no, Tony? Pilots have an age limit, or they have to retire by a certain age.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
I would think
And
so.
what is, or does it state how old a pilot must be before they have to?
Yes. If you are a pilot for the airlines, you have to retire at age 65.
Okay.
Yeah, it used to be 60. They pushed it back to 65, and now there are talks about pushing it further to
Oh,
67. But right now, it's 65. Yeah,
65.
yeah.
All right. So for those who may be listening who want to be a pilot and you're older than 65, we're sorry. You can't.
You could still be a pilot, but not
Oh,
an airline
not
pilot.
an airline flight. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah,
There's the
yeah.
caveat right there. You can still
Hmm.
fly, but
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
not
Yeah.
on an airline. Got it. Okay. I'll.
Hmm.
I said that I'm gonna
So
remember that.
there's still hope for. Yeah.
Nice. All right, and then I think we'll use this as our last one. This one I've always been curious about, and I don't think I've ever asked a pilot this.
Okay.
But Tony, well, we're gonna learn together. If you keep your electronic devices on or otherwise not on airplane mode, they will interfere with the instrumentation on a plane. What do you think, Tony?
I feel like I've always looked for this answer in like different forums and stuff online. Like, does it really? I feel like it does. Like to some degree. No?
So if you kept
Yeah.
your phone or your laptop
Off
on, if you're
airplane.
texting during
I
the
feel like more phone than the more phone than the laptop. Maybe the laptop would be
ah,
okay. Phone,
that's a
no.
good point. Hmm. Let's hear the answer maybe once and for all. The-
So, um, some airplanes you will in some conditions. Okay, so it's not for if it's a nice beautiful day out there. we won't have any interferences, because we will have interferences only if we fly a particular approach. So the conditions have to be uh, very low ceiling, poor visibility, and it's the type of approach. It's not the normal, what we called a category one approach. It has to be a category 2 or 3 approach, because when we shoot these approaches, there's an instrument called the radio altimeter, and that radio altimeter determines your height of the airplane above the ground. And it's very important. If we don't have it, we have to go around. All right. That radio altimeter operates in the 4 gigahertz range, and that's the same range as your cell phone that has the 5G. It you
Ah,
know, and this will interfere with that radio altimeter. Now, it's not in all airplanes. Okay, I used to fly the 737, and we had to make a special PA if we had these conditions, and we had to shoot those approaches that we would make to the passengers about making sure their phone was on airplane mode, prior to shooting that approach. Now, the more modern airplanes nowadays, like the one I'm on right now, it's shielded against that, so we don't even have to make those PAs anymore. But that would be the reason why. Yes. So the short answer is yes. It can interfere with the instrumentation. Yes.
okay. So they're telling us the truth. When they say to turn it off, please do. Of course, we should follow all rules that we're hearing from flight crew, right? So of
Sure.
course it's
Sure.
for
Yeah.
our safety. So
Yeah.
I mean, thank you so much for giving us all of this knowledge about flying, and I've it's opened my eyes to
Mhm.
how interesting aviation, flying a plane can be. And if I decide to pursue it when I'm 65 and older, I will maybe do it. We'll see. We'll find out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Mhm.
thank you again so much for joining our broadcast today, David. And good job, Tony.
Sure.
I'm gonna say round
Sure.
of applause. Round of
My
applause
pleasure.
for
Yeah.
Tony. Tony did very well. But of course, we're not done learning just yet, because we are going to have members of the CSD, Christian Society for the Deaf, teach us their word, their sign for this week, and they are going to teach us how to sign the word pilot.
Wow.
This is your plan.
Hello, brothers and sisters. My name is Sister Sophia, and I am the Secretary for the Christian Society for the Deaf in the District of Great Lakes. And for today's sign of the week, I'm going to teach you how to sign the word pilot. Now, to sign the word pilot, first, with your dominant hand, you're going to stick out your pinky, your index, and your thumb. So your hand should look just like this. And with this, you're going to do a bit of a pointing motion forward. Do it twice. That's the first part of how to sign the word pilot. Now for the next part, you will need both of your hands out just like this. Have your palms facing each other just like this, and then bring them down. One more time. And now we're going to put those two motions together. So this is what it would be. One more time. And that's how you sign pilot. Thank you for joining us in today's Sign of the Week, and we hope to see you more in future activities.
This is your plan.
Thank you to our CSD department for teaching us how to sign the word pilot. And we do have to end our show for today, but before we close off, we do want to say our special thanks to the people who make our show possible. First off, to our district ministers here in the District of Great Lakes, Brother Arthur P. Agag, our Assistant District Minister, and Brother Elmer A. Sarmiento, our District Minister. We do want to also say a very special thanks to Brother Wally Taray, our INCRadio Station Manager, to Brother Angelo Eranio V. Manalo, our Deputy Executive Minister, and most importantly, to Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, our Executive Minister. Thank you for making shows like ours possible. Well, and remember everyone, in your zone is where you shine the brightest. So we do hope to see you again next week, and we hope that you have a great weekend. Goodbye, everyone.